Good morning, everyone. Okay, so I'm Mr. Tam Yong Cheng from SP Max Education Center. Today I will present a topic Form 4 Additional Mathematics, Chapter 8, which related to vector. Okay, so for this video, I will use a prior SPM question to explain the question in this chapter. All right, okay, so now let's go to the first question. Okay, so this question is come from Pahang. Okay, so the diagram below show a triangle OAB. PQR are the midpoint of OA, OB, and OC. So the meaning of midpoint is the middle point. So if you look at the line OA, point P is the middle point of the line OA. Right? So same goes to point Q, which is the middle point of OB, and point R is the middle point of OA. Okay. So continue, given that BA is equal to X, so if you look at the diagram, from point B go to point A, so the vector for it will be X, okay, so it will be X, and OB is equal to Y, right? So from point O go to point B, the vector will be Y. Okay, so that's the information that we have from the question. Okay, so now let's look at question A. Okay, so question A. So first one, find the vector PO. So first one, find the vector PO. Okay, so how to find the vector PO? You must look at your diagram, right? So PO is this line, right? From P to O. Okay, it's this vector. Okay, so since P is the midpoint of OA, so we can say that from point P go to point O is the half of vector AO, right? Because P is the middle point, right? So the ratio or the fraction will be 1 over 2, right? Half 1 over 2. Okay, so let's continue. So equal to 1 over 2. Okay, so next, how do we go from point A to point O? You must look at the vector, right? So from point A to point O, so the route that we can use is from point A go to point B, right? So it's this vector. After that, from point B, go to point O. Okay, then we'll get the vector AO, right? Okay, so let's continue. So AO is AB plus BO. Okay, so now substitute our vector. So if you look at the question, vector X is BA, right? But now we want AB. So what we should do? We should put negative, right? Negative the vector. So negative X. Okay, plus BO. So again, we have OB is equal to Y. So if you want to find BO, then it will be negative Y. So you can put it as minus X minus Y. Okay, then after that, open the bracket. So 1 over 2 times negative X and 1 over 2 times negative Y. So the answer for vector PO is negative 1 over 2X minus 1 over 2Y. Okay, so that's the answer for question A1. Okay, next look at question A2. Okay, the question A2 is the vector PB. Okay, so how do we go from P to B? So from the answer A1, we know that from P go to O, the vector is negative 1 over 2x minus 1 over 2y. Okay, so how to go from P to B? Is PO plus OB. Right? And then we can get the vector PB. Okay, let's substitute the vector. So PO we can get from the answer A1. So be negative 1 over 2x minus 1 over 2y. Okay, after that, continue with vector OB. So OB is equal to y, so plus y. Okay, after that, do the calculation. So negative 1 over 2x. We didn't have the like term, so we can just copy the term. Okay, next one. Negative 1 over 2y plus y. So plus y is plus 1y, right? You have 1 for the vector. So negative 1 over 2 plus 1, you get positive 1 over 2. Okay, and that's the answer for vector PB. Okay, so next, let's go to question B. Okay, express PQ in terms of x and y. So that's the first part of the question. Okay, then next, hence state the relationship between the line BA and the line PQ. Okay, so now let's look at the vector PQ first. So question B, vector PQ. Okay, so again, let's look at the diagram. How do we find vector PQ? So the shortest path is PO plus OQ. Right? So PO plus OQ is equal to PQ. And what is PO? You can take from answer A1, right? It's exactly the same PO. So copy negative 1 over 2x minus 1 over 2y. Okay, then next, how about OQ? Remember, Q is the midpoint of OB, right? So Q, OQ, so it will be half of vector 1, so 1 over 2. Okay, so let's copy the vector x because we didn't have the like term. Okay, then next, negative 1 over 2y plus 1 over 2y, you get 0. Okay, because negative 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2. Okay, so we can say that PQ is equal to negative 1 over 2x. Okay, so that's the vector for PQ. And the second part of question is, you need to let me know the relationship between PQ and BA. Okay, so if you look at the vector BA is x, right? Okay, vector BA is x. So we can say that vector PQ is equal to negative 1 over 2 of BA. Right? Because x is equal to BA. Right? So PQ is equal to negative 1 over 2 of BA. So we can say that, okay, just make a conclusion. So we can say that line BA and PQ are parallel. Okay, because negative 1 over 2 is a constant, right? So PQ and BA are parallel and they are going into the same direction. Okay, so that's the relationship between BA and PQ. Okay, so that's the answer for this question. Okay, so now let's go to the next question. Okay, so this question is come from Putrajaya. Okay, it is given that the vector m is negative 12, 9 and n is 10 p plus 2. Okay, so remember this type of vector is represented by I and j, right? The top number is I and the bottom number is j, right? Vector I and vector j. Okay, so I label it first. So the top number, so it's represented by vector I, and the bottom number is represented by. Okay, of course, vector I is referred to the x-axis, right? X-axis, and vector j is referred to the y-axis. Okay, so now let's look at question A. Find the modulus of n. Okay, so you need to know that this modulus is not the modulus that you learned in other chapter. Okay, so let's do a revision for the meaning of modulus. Okay, so we know that in other chapter, the modulus of, let's say, 3 is equal to 3, right? Okay, modulus of 3 is equal to 3. Okay, let's say modulus of negative 5. So you get positive 5, right? Okay, that is the meaning of modulus that we learned in other chapter. Okay, so it means that the result of the modulus will always be positive. Okay, always be positive, or it can be 0 lah, right? So if you write the modulus of 0, the answer will be 0. Okay, so it can't be a negative number. Okay, but in this chapter, okay, which is vector, the meaning of magnitude and the meaning of modulus is magnitude. Okay, we didn't call it modulus, we call it magnitude. Okay, and what is the meaning of magnitude? So if you learn physics, okay, if you take the full science, you learn the physics, the meaning of magnitude is the length. Okay, or you can say this is the distance. Okay, so it's the length of between 2 points or the distance between 2 points. Okay, so what is the formula for magnitude? So if you know the meaning of magnitude is length, is distance, then you know that the formula for length and the formula for distance, right? Okay, so remember the formula for magnitude is square root x squared plus y squared. Okay, so it's just like the distance formula, right? Okay, so square root x squared plus y squared. Okay, so now let's go back to question A. Okay, so the modulus of m. So if you look at the m, we have number -12 and 9. So -12 is refer for x, okay, because the vector is I and refer to the x-axis, and the bottom number is y, which is vector j, refer to the y-axis. Okay, substitute into the formula. So it will be equal to square root. Okay, so x is -12. Don't forget to put the bracket. Okay, -12 squared and then plus 9 squared. Okay, after that, okay, do the calculation. So you can calculate the number inside the square root first. So bracket -12 squared plus 9 squared. And you get 225. Okay, square root 225. And square root 225 is 50. Okay, so that's the answer for question 8, right? Magnitude of vector m is 50. Okay, next question B. Okay, find the value of p such that m plus n is parallel to x-axis. Okay, so remember the equation of x-axis. Okay, everyone, you need to know that. The equation of x-axis is y equal to 0. Okay, equation of x-axis is y equal to 0. So if I ask you, what is the equation for y-axis? Okay, then you must tell me the answer is x equal to 0, right? So y-axis is x equal to 0. Okay, so now let's find the vector m plus n first. Okay, so m plus n. Okay, substitute. So m is -12, 9. And then plus, so n is 10, p plus 2. Okay, so after that, you need to do the calculation. So how to do the calculation? The top number plus with the top number and the bottom number plus with the bottom number. So you get -12 plus 10, okay, for the top number, and the bottom number is 9 plus p plus 2. Okay, and then simplify. So for the top number, -12 plus 10, so you get -2. Okay, 9 plus p plus 2. So 9 plus 2 is 11. So 11 plus p. So this is the vector of m plus n. And because m plus n is parallel to the x-axis, which means that y equal to 0, right? So take your y. Okay, where is your y? Your y is here, right? Okay, top number is x, bottom number is y. So 11 plus p equal to 0. Okay, because y equal to 0. Okay, after that, okay, you can move 11 to the other side. So 0 minus 11. So p equal to -11. All right, so that's the answer for question B. Okay, so next question C. Okay, x and y are non-zero vector and not parallel. And it's given that p plus q minus 3 for vector x and 4 plus q for vector y, such that p and q are constant. So find the value of p and q. So if you know the keyword in this sentence, which is non-zero vector and not parallel, then it will be a very easy question. Okay, so the meaning of non-zero vector and non-parallel is the coefficient for the vector is 0. Okay, coefficient of the vector is 0. So if you look at the equation, so p plus q minus 3 will be 0 and 4 plus q will be 0. Okay, so non-zero vector, not parallel, so the coefficient is 0. Okay, let's take out the coefficient. So first one, p plus q minus 3 equal to 0. Okay, and of course, we can't solve this equation because we have two unknown. Right, so cannot solve it. Let's go to the second equation, which is 4 plus q equal to 0. Okay, so we can solve the second equation. So move 4 to the other side. So 0 minus 4. So q equal to negative 4. Okay, so since we know that q is negative 4, then you can substitute to the first equation. So p plus negative 4, then minus 3 equal to 0. Okay, so negative 4 minus 3 is 7, p minus 7 equal to 0, and finally move negative 7 to the other side. So 0 plus 7, so p equal to 7. Okay, and that's the answer for the question. So p is equal to 7 and q is equal to negative 4. Alright, so now let's go to the next question. Okay, so this question is come from Selangor. Okay, diagram 3 show a parallelogram OABC. Okay, point P is the midpoint of AB. So again, the meaning of midpoint is the middle point. So P is the middle point of AB. Okay, and the ratio QP to OP is 2 to 5. So later, if the vector is talking about QP or OP, we need to use this information to find the vector. Okay, continue. Given that OA is 3i plus 4j. Okay, you can label on the diagram first. So OA, okay, make sure you put an arrow to show the direction. Okay, because for vector, the direction is very important. Okay, so OA is 3i plus 4j. Next, OC equal to 6i plus j. Put the direction, okay, arrow, and label the vector 6i plus j. Now let's continue. Express in terms of I and j. Question A, vector OP. Question A, vector OP. Okay, so how to go from point O to point P? So the answer will be OA plus AP. Right, you go from point O to point A. After that, continue from A to P. Okay, so now OA, we have the information given from the question, so you can substitute directly 3i plus 4j. Okay, so now the problem is how to find AP. So the keyword in this question is OABC is a parallelogram. So you need to know some characteristic for parallelogram. So the characteristic that you need to use in this question is the opposite side are the same. Okay, for parallelogram, the opposite side are the same. So we can say that vector OC, okay, from this information, we can say that actually OC is equal to AB, right? Because the direction is the same and they are opposite to each other. So if you look at AP, AP is half of AB, right? Because P is the midpoint of AB. And later, we need to use this information, OC equal to AB, to find the vector AB. Okay, so now let's go to the next step. So you can remove the bracket first, 3i plus 4j, okay, plus 1 over 2 AB. So AB is OC, and OC is 6i plus j. Now open the bracket, simplify, then you can get the vector for OP. 3i plus 4j. Open the bracket, here 1 over 2 times 6i and 1 over 2 times j. So 1 over 2 times 6i is 3i. 1 over 2 times j is 1 over 2j. So now let's collect the like term. We have 3i plus 3i. So we'll get 6i. Okay, after that we have 4j plus 1 over 2j. So we will get 9 over 2j. So that's the answer for question 8, right? Vector OP is 6i plus 9 over 2j. Now let's go to question B, okay, vector AQ. If you look at the vector AQ, so how to go from A to Q? Of course, you cannot go directly because we didn't have the vector, right? So you must go from A to O, after that O to Q. Okay, or another way is you go from A to P and then P to Q. Okay, so both method will give you the same answer. Okay, so let's say for this example, I will show you how to find the answer for AO plus OQ. So AO is the opposite direction of OA, right? So make sure you convert the sign from positive to negative, from negative to positive. So OA is 3i plus 4j. So AO will be negative 3i minus 4j. Change the positive to negative. Okay, continue plus. So OQ. So for OQ, you must look at this ratio, right? So the ratio is QP to OP is 2 to 5. So QP is 2. So you can label 2 for the vector OP, the QP. And then OP is 5, right? So which means that the length or the ratio for the whole line is 5. So what is the ratio for OQ? 5 minus 3, right? Okay, 5 minus 2. And then you get the ratio for OQ. So here will be 3. Okay, 5 minus 2, you'll get 3. And that's the ratio for OQ. Okay, so if you look at the vector OQ, the ratio is 3, right? So the fraction is 3 over 5. Okay, because 3 plus 2 is 5. So total ratio is 5. And for OQ, the ratio is 3. Okay, of course, here you need to put OP. Okay, after that, you can remove the bracket. So now, what is the vector for OQ? You can look at answer A, right? Answer A is the vector OP. So now replace vector OP with 6i plus 9 over 2 j. Okay, now you can open the bracket. 3 over 5 times 6 and 3 over 5 times 9 over 2. So for the first two terms, you can copy it first. Okay, so 3 over 5 times 6, 18 over 5. Okay, after that, 3 over 5 times 9 over 2, 27 over that. Vector j. Now let's collect the like term. So for I, we have negative 3 and then positive 18 over 5. Negative 3 plus 18 over 5, you get 3 over 5. 3 over 5i. And then for vector j, minus 4j plus 27 over that. So minus 4 plus 27 over 10. You get negative 13 over 10j. Alright, so that's the answer for question B. Vector AQ is equal to 3 over 5i minus 13 over 10j. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Okay, this question is come from Terengganu. So given that vector u is equal to 5i plus 2j and vector v equal to 3i plus kj, find the value of k if the modulus of u plus v is equal to 10. So again, the meaning of modulus is magnitude, and the formula is square root x squared plus y squared. Okay, so maybe I'll rewrite it the formula again. So modulus is called magnitude, and the formula is square root x squared plus y squared. Okay, now let's find u plus v first. So question A, so u plus v. So u, according to the question, is 5i plus 2j. And for vector v is 3i plus kj. Now grouping the like term, 5i and 3i combine together, you get 8i. Okay, after that we have 2j and kj. So since 2j and kj cannot combine together, so you can just take out the coefficient, right? So 2j plus kj, it will be 2 plus k vector j. Okay, so you take out the 2 and k, so 2 plus kj. Okay, that is the vector for u plus v. So now let's apply the magnitude formula, square root x squared plus y squared. So in this example, so x is equal to 8 and y is equal to 2 plus k. Okay, now substitute into the formula. So square root, okay, x is 8, so 8 squared plus, so y, 2 plus k squared. So it will be equal to 10, right? Because it's given by the question. Okay, the magnitude of u plus v is equal to 10. Okay, now solve the equation and find the value of k. So first step, you can move the square root to the other side, so it become square, right? So 8 squared is 64. Okay, 2 plus k squared, you can copy it first. And 10 squared is equal to 100. Okay, next step, move 64 to the other side. So you get 2 plus k squared equal to 100 minus 64. Okay, and 100 minus 64 is 36. Okay, next, move square to the other side. So 2 plus k equal to, okay, I think everyone know that when you want to move square to the other side, you need to put square root, right? But now you need to add one more thing. Okay, every time when you move the square, you need to put square root, and one more thing is plus minus. Okay, plus minus. So it will be plus minus square root 36. Okay, and finally move 2 to the other side. Okay, so k equal to plus minus. So square root 36 can be calculated, right? Square root 36 is 6. So it's plus minus 6 and minus 2. And finally, the meaning of plus minus is one answer is plus, one answer is minus. So you have two answers, right? So now let's take the positive value first. So plus 6 minus 2, the answer is 4. Or you take the negative answer. So negative 6 minus 2. So the answer is negative 8. All right, so we have two answers for question A, which is k equal to 4 or k equal to negative 8. Okay, next, let's look at question B. Okay, 2u minus v parallel to x-axis. So just now we have the question which is y-axis, right? So now x-axis, remember the equation for x-axis is y equal to 0. Okay, of course, y-axis is x equal to 0. Okay, now let's find 2u minus v first. Okay, so substitute for the vector u and v. So 2 bracket 5i plus 2j, then minus 3i. Okay, remember k, we still didn't have the value, right? Because the question didn't say whether k you need to take 4 or negative 8. So we just assume we don't know the value of k. So 3i plus kj. Okay, now expand the bracket. Okay, 2 times 5i, 2 times 2j. So you get 10i plus 4j minus 3i. Okay, this is very important because you have the bracket, right? So it will be minus 3i minus kj. So this is very important. Okay, don't make mistake for the negative, right? So it will be minus kj, not plus kj. Okay, so now group the like term. We have 10i minus 3i. So we'll get 7i. 7i. Okay, then the next one, 4j minus kj. Of course, 4 cannot minus k, right? So like question A, you take out the coefficient. So plus 4 minus k, after that vector j. Okay, and what like I say just now, y equal to 0, right? So if you look at the question, so the first number is x, second number is 1. So y equal to 0, 4 minus k equal to 0. Okay, after that, move 4 to the other side. So negative k. Okay, of course, the negative wouldn't disappear. So you move 4 to the other side, we still have negative on the left-hand side. All right, here. So 4 to the other side, 0 minus 4. So get negative 4. And after that, you can cancel out the negative for both sides. So the answer is k equal to 4. Okay, so that's the answer for the question. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so this question has come from Kelantan. Okay, diagram 3 show a triangle OAB. Okay, point C is lines on AB, but because the question didn't say what is the ratio or is it C is the midpoint of AB, so later we'll have one information lah. So we left it first. Okay, continue. And the point D is the midpoint of OB. So now we know that donkey, right, the D is the middle point, right? Middle point of the straight line OB. So it's the half, right? Middle point. Okay, continue. It is given that OA is equal to vector A. You can label on the diagram. Make sure every time when you want to put the vector, you must put two things. One is the direction. Another one is the vector. Okay, so O to A. So direction is very important. And then you put vector A. Okay, next, OB. So OB is here, direction, and then you put vector. Okay, next, so now we have the ratio or the relationship between the point C and the line AB. So AC is equal to 2CB. Okay, AC equal to 2CB. Okay, now let's go to question A. Okay, express in terms of A and B of vector dA. So this vector. Okay, so how to go from D to A? So based on the vector that you have, right? So the answer will be DO plus OA. Okay, so DO plus OA will be equal to DA. Okay, now let's substitute the vector. So DO, because D is the midpoint, right? D is the midpoint. So DO is the half of BO. Okay, because D is the midpoint. So DO is 1 over 2 of BO. Okay, OA, we have the vector already. OA is equal to A, so plus A. Okay, so now BO, remember the direction is very important. So OB is equal to B. So BO will be equal to negative B. Okay, different direction, right? So you need to put negative. So it will be negative 1 over 2B plus A. Okay, so now let's look at the second question, which is the vector OC. Okay, so to find the vector OC, so you can use OA plus AC or OB plus BC. Okay, you can use either one, either OA plus AC or OB plus BC. So both method will give you the same answer. Okay, so let's say I'll use OA plus AC. Okay, so now OA, we have the vector A. Okay, and then if you look at the equation, AC is equal to 2CB, right? So 1 AC is equal to 2 CB. So according to the ratio, so AC to CB will be 2 to 1. Right? Ratio will be 2 to 1 because 1 AC is equal to 2 CB. Okay, so now AC according to the ratio will be 2 over 3 of AB. Right? Because the ratio for AC is 2 and the total ratio is 3, which is 2 plus 1. Okay, now continue. So it will be A plus 2 over 3. Okay, so how to find vector AB? So it will be AO plus OB. AO plus OB. Okay, now copy vector A and 2 over 3. Okay, we know that OA is equal to vector A. So now we want to find AO, right? opposite direction. So it will be negative A. Okay, OB is exactly the same, so plus vector B. Okay, next open the bracket. Okay, 2 over 3 times negative A and 2 over 3 times vector B. So A minus 2 over 3A plus 2 over 3B. Okay, and finally, collect the like term. So if you look at the vector A, we have A minus 2 over 3A. And remember, vector A is 1A, right? We have 1 in front of the vector. So 1 minus 2 over 3, it will be 1 over 3. Okay, so 1 over 3A plus 2 over 3. Okay, so that's the answer for vector OC. Okay, so now let's continue with question B. Okay, the straight line OC is extended to the point E so that DA and BE are parallel. So if you look at the diagram, so for the line OC, it will be extended, meaning that it makes the line longer. Okay, so the line OC will be longer to at a point E so that DA and BE are parallel. So if you imagine the line OC, it will be extended, OC will be extended. At one point, the line of DA and the line of BE is parallel. Okay, so the diagram will look somehow like this. Okay, but of course, no need to draw the diagram. Okay, no need to draw the diagram. Okay, continue. It is given that OE is equal to HOC and BE equal to KDA. So where P and Q are constant, so of course it's not P and Q is H and K lah, right? So that is the typo for the question, so that is H. Okay, right? Because we didn't have P and Q in our question. Okay, so where H and K are constant. Okay, so continue. You need to find a vector OE. Should be one. Okay, so if you look at question B1 in terms of HAB and question 2 in terms of KAB, right? So both question want to find the vector OE, but with the different term. So the first one is H, second one is K. So how do you find the answer? First, you must know how does the terms come from. Let's say question B1. You say I want vector H, right? How do you get H? Of course, H is not a vector. How do you get the H? You must use this information, right? If you didn't use this information, you can't get the H for your answer. Okay, because if you look at the diagram, you also didn't have the H, right? Okay, no H in our diagram. So you must apply OE equal to HOC to get the H for your answer. Okay, and of course, what you want to find is also OE, so you can just copy from the question. So OE equal to HOC. Okay, it's exactly the same, right? Okay, so now equal to H. So OC, how to find? So usually for this chapter, you can get the answer from the previous question. Okay, so let's say now, let's go back to question 8. Do we have vector OC? Yes, right? You can look at question A2, right? Vector OC, we have the answer already. So no need to start from OA plus AC and then continue with the next step. No need. Okay, so you just copy the conclusion, right? Copy the answer. So OE is equal to H 1 over 3A plus 2 over 3B. Okay, so that is the vector. So now open the bracket. Okay, so H multiply to vector A and multiply to vector B. Okay, so be equal to 1 over 3 HA and then plus 2 over 3 HB. Okay, so now that is the answer for question B1. So that's the vector OE lah. Right, so that's okay. Now let's go to question B2. Okay, again you want to find vector OE, but this time you need to find K, right, in terms of K. So how to get the K in your question? You must use this information, right? If you didn't use this information, you can't get the answer, right, in terms of K. So now, of course, you cannot write BE because what we want to find is O. Okay, so again, you start from OE, and then in your calculation, you must include the vector BE. Okay, inside your calculation, you must include the vector BE. So how to put BE into our equation? The answer is OE equal to OB plus BE. Right? How to go from point O to point E? You can go from O to B first, then continue B to E. So you can see that we include the vector BE in our question. Okay, now let's substitute the vector. Okay, for the vector OB, if you refer to the question, so OB is equal to vector B. You can just write B here. Okay, then plus BE. So according to the question, BE is equal to KDA. So KDA. Okay, after that, equal to B, okay, plus K. So usually the vector you can get from the previous question. Okay, same with the OC just now, right? So if you look at BA, okay, go back question A. So we have the answer from question A1, right? So BA equal to negative 1 over B plus A. So substitute negative 1 over 2B plus A. Okay, now you can expand the bracket for the K. Okay, so you can write B minus 1 over 2KB plus K. Okay, so usually I will encourage my student to take out the coefficient. Okay, take out the coefficient for the same vector. So let's see, for vector B, you have B and 1 over 2KB, right? So if you take out the coefficient, remember, every time you can remember, for the vector, if we didn't have the number in front of it, we have the number 1 here. Okay, so that is the value that you need to consider. So now if you take the coefficient, it will be 1 minus 1 over 2k for vector B. Okay, and then plus with k. Okay, so that is the answer for question B2. Okay, so vector OE is bracket 1 minus 1 over 2k B and then plus k. Okay, and finally look at question C. Okay, so hence find the value of HK. So for this type of question, you must refer to the previous question. So because B1 and B2 actually is referred to the same vector, right? Look at the vector here. We have vector OE, is vector OE. So at the same time, this is also vector OE, right? Okay, but with the different term. So like first one is term H and the second one is term K. So actually it's the same thing. So now let's combine it together. So get 1 over 3 HA plus 2 over 3 HB equal to bracket 1 minus 1 over 2k B plus K. Okay, because both vectors are the same, so you make it as an equation. Okay, so now we'll use a very important technique in this chapter, which is compare the vector. Okay, compare the vector. So now let's compare the vector A first. So compare vector A. Okay, so if you compare the vector A, on the left hand side, we have 1 over 3h. Okay, of course, no need to take up the vector, no need to write the vector, just write the coefficient for the vector. So 1 over 3h. Okay, equal. So on the other side is k. Okay, and this will be your first equation. Right, so that's your first equation. Okay, since we still have another vector which is b, so let's compare the vector b. Okay, so for vector b, we have 2 over 3h on the left hand side, and on the right hand side, we have 1 minus 1 over 2k. Okay, so this is our second equation. Okay, so now you need to solve the simultaneous equation and find the value of h and k. So you can use, let's say, substitution method or elimination method. Okay, so for this example, I will show you how to use the substitution method. So substitute the first equation into the second equation. Okay, the meaning of substitution method is you replace the unknown with the equation. So let's say if you look at the first equation, 1 over 3h equal to k. So k is 1 over 3h, right? So now you look at your second equation, you have the k here. Okay, you have k here. So you replace it with 1 over 3h. Okay, replace the k with 1 over 3h. Okay, of course, the other thing, you just copy. So get 2 over 3h equal to 1 minus 1 over 2, then 1 over 3. Okay, let's do some simple calculation. So 1 over 2 times 1 over 3. So 2 over 3h equal to 1 minus 1 over 6h. Okay, and of course, to solve this equation, you need to move the terms to the same side. Okay, so you get 2 over 3 plus 1 over 6. So 2 over 3 plus 1 over 6, so it will be 5 over 6h equal to 1. Okay, then of course, move 5 over 6 to the other side, change the fraction, becomes 6 over 5. So h equal to 6 over 5. Okay, and finally, don't forget, this is simultaneous equation. So you need to find the value of the two unknown. So now we have the h already, we need to find the k. So how to find the k? You can look at the first equation, right? 1 over 3h is equal to k. So k is equal to 1 over 3 times the h, 6 over 5. Okay, and then finally, you do the calculation. So the final value is 2 over 5. Alright, okay, so that is the value, okay, for the h and k. Okay, and this type of question is very important. Okay, especially this type of question will come out in paper 2. So one question will like from 8 marks to 10 marks. Okay, so usually for question A, it will ask you the normal vector, and let's say vector dA, what plus what, OC, what plus what. Okay, and then question B, it will ask you to find the same vector but in different term. Okay, maybe they will use HK, or sometimes they can use PQ. Okay, and last one, question C, you need to solve the simultaneous equation. Okay, of course, before you solve the simultaneous equation, you need to compare the vector. So in this question, we have vector A and vector B. Okay, so you just compare the vector, solve the equation to get the value of the unknown. Alright, okay, so that's all for our video today. So thank you for watching it and see you next time. Goodbye.